Okay.
Hi,
Hi.
Pat. How are you?
Pretty good. Glad to
That
see you
is,
back.
it was a little break that was much needed, and I do not know how. First of all, round of applause for you for completing the Peter Pan section. I was just like, oh my gosh, I felt so bad for you.
I kind of figured the pattern out on these puzzles. It
Okay,
really helped.
that's good.
That
That
picked up the pace.
It's just
So,
so
it
much
is.
blue. Even like the clock tower, even though it's a different shade of blue with the stars and everything, I just like I watched your videos and I'm like, oh, I felt so bad for you. I'm just like, I don't know how he's continuing to do this week after week. Like how okay, honestly, Pat, how many times did you want to throw in and just say, like, I need a break? Like I just need to not do this right now.
Quite a few times I felt like just putting it away and starting another one.
Yeah,
But when I figured out the pattern, that's when it went together.
that's good.
I don't know. I don't know if you saw the videos on how to figure that out or not.
I did, yes. Yeah.
But every section is 2,000 piece puzzles.
Okay.
You can interchange these puzzles any way you want to.
Yep.
You can put you can put uh, the Beast in there with Snow White if you wanted to.
Yeah. You
Just the
could. I
shades.
probably can't though with my puzzle drama as I've been calling it, but yeah, that's I felt like
But
that with Little Mermaid with all the blue. It's like as I was working on the water, I was just like I so just want to be done with this puzzle. It was just it was you get to that point with these bigger puzzles because you've been staring at them for so long that you're just like I'm done. I need a break. I know that you do the smaller puzzles, in between your larger puzzles. So that kind of gives
yeah,
your mind like a little break, but yeah, I mean these puzzles definitely they take a lot of effort and love and for me, now whenever I go on the Little Mermaid ride at Disney World, the last scene of is her on that boat, and I just instantly get like
yeah,
PTSD from it. I'm like, no, because I can't look at that scene anymore. I'm like, this has been the worst section of out of all the sections I've had. I'm like, I can't look at her in the boat anymore. So,
yeah. Just wait till you get to Peter Pan.
and like I'm looking at the way that the voting went out. I have Cinderella, which I'm working on now. I have Dumbo, Fantasia, and Peter Pan. I'm like reaching out to the followers. I'm like, why would you guys do this to me? You guys are leaving like all the blue left at the very end, like not doing like a blue and then a color, one with a lot of color. It's blue, 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 blue. So my only hope is Dumbo will be like either right after Peter Pan or right before. Like, give me a break around Peter Pan because I that's the one I'm dreading, and then Fantasia's the second one I'm dreading because
No,
it has all the stars.
yeah, the stars went together pretty quick because I can cheat and copy off the other sections and on the shapes and orientations and
Yep.
things. So it goes pretty quick that way. And when I get stuck on a spot, that's what I refer back to.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
so
that's
and
that. Now, how is Beauty and the Beast going along? I see you're moving right along with Beauty and the Beast.
I'd say it's half done
Okay.
or close to it, if not
Yeah.
more.
No.
Because I
That's good.
kind
I
of,
mean, Beauty and the Beast for me, I think was one of my quicker sections because you have it's like the red, the pink, but you have her yellow dress, the Beast, which has the blue and the gold and the brown. The one that was the top of the staircase, like towards the top where you got that black like
yeah,
swirls. That was the one because your mind can't like match up. So that's one of those you just put them in the pile and try every single piece.
no, that's where I would go to my grid and figure out what shape it is and rotation and
Okay.
go from there.
Yeah, no,
And
absolutely.
that eliminates probably 75% of the pieces just by
Yep.
going that route.
Well, that's good.
Then the only thing you got to worry about is the color or the shade.
Yep. No, absolutely. Yeah.
So
So so once you're done with Beauty and the Beast, are you going to do another vote? Which one are you leaning towards?
I'll do another vote for this one. You know, I didn't vote for the Beauty and the Beast. I just picked it and said, forget it. I want to make sure I don't have blue.
Yes. You're like,
I
please do
made an
not let it
executive.
be like Cinderella.
Yeah, I made an executive decision and went to Beauty and the Beast. But
Okay.
everything, it's gonna be up for a vote for the next one,
Okay.
especially since I got things figured out. I can push through them, the solid colors
Yeah.
quicker.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. Lion
You know,
King was tough for me just because of all the brown. And it was almost like depressing, like going through it because you're like, oh, there's a whole bunch of different animal shades. And no, it's like, the film strip, I could not get that through that film strip. That was the hardest part for me because it was usually
oh,
like the film strip, I'm done. And it's just that one, for whatever reason, I just couldn't get in the groove of the film strip. So yeah, so that was, and
yeah,
then, we let everyone vote. And then because they didn't know that I had started and it was almost done with Jungle Book. So, because I was just waiting for my answer with Jungle Book. And then Jungle Book was like easy. That one was
oh,
easy because it was green, which was a brand new color to us, right? Because Ravensburger, for
yeah,
whatever reason in this puzzle, there's lots and lots of blue. So I was happy to
yeah,
do
every
something
shade
with
of
green.
blue.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, let's just keep on hitting that blue ink button. So yeah, the Jungle Book one was, pretty easy because the rock is like all white, like white and gray. And then you have the bear, which is gray, and then the green. So I was quite happy with Jungle Book.
Yeah,
So I slid right through. I was like, yes. Now I do
yeah.
notice, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, good.
No, I was just looking at my poster here as you were talking.
So I did notice that in a lot of your videos that when you were at Disney, I have to say I'm impressed with Disney's selection of puzzles because I feel like they're now talking to the puzzle community a little bit more, where in the past that they weren't. So it is nice to kind of see these Disney puzzles. And even the one that I'm in love with that you got is the puppies on one side and the cats on the other side. When I saw that,
Yeah,
I'm like, that's Disney, like thinking outside of that box. Where normally it's like, okay, here's a picture, and this is all you're going to get. But that one, I was like, oh, I like that puzzle. So I feel like the puzzle community is kind of growing on Disney a little bit, and they're actually like doing something for us. Where normally they were like, oh, Ravensburger, everybody else, you take care of our Disney puzzles. So it's nice to see puzzles in the park.
yeah. I go through all the parks and see what I can find because you're not going to find the same puzzle in every park,
No.
except for maybe the 50th anniversary ones or something like that.
Yep.
But the hardest one, the park with the least amount of puzzles is Animal Kingdom. They don't have very many over there.
No.
So once you get them, you've got them pretty much.
And the World of Disney has, I
And
think, the best selection in that, they have like them all in like one spot. So it's like you just get to that spot and you're good to go. So,
yeah,
but yeah, when I saw that the
and it
dogs
seems
and
like
cats,
they always come out with new puzzles every time I'm down there.
mm-hmm.
Something I don't have yet.
Yeah. Yeah. The
And
one
it was tough trying to figure. It was tough for me trying to figure out which ones to get because over the summer I ran over my phone with the lawnmower and destroyed my phone. So all my photos of all those puzzles were in the phone.
oh
I had
no.
I had some uploaded to Dropbox, but not all of them. So I had videos, and the big one was I had the video for cloudberries that I had
Mm-hmm.
done, and I was ready to post it, and destroyed my phone. So I had to spend
Oh
the next day,
no.
all day, redoing the whole complete promo video for them. That took me almost 2 weeks to do.
Oh
So I redo it a week
no.
in a day. It wasn't as good as it was supposed to be, but they liked it. So
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad that you were able to, rectify that, and get it for them. So,
yeah, I got to go through and see just of all the puzzles I have. Disney swindle back down. I've got them. So,
yeah, absolutely.
so I got till February to figure that out.
Now, how many puzzles do you have, not including the big ones? We'll just take the rest of the sections out of the big one. Do you have that you have not completed, like your puzzle and trucks? How many of like the smaller puzzles do you have?
Oh, cabinet's full here. I can't. There's probably 70 puzzles in there
Mm-hmm.
or more. Plus, there's some on my couch out here. Let's see.
I don't know if
I
you all can see, those are all completed puzzles behind Pat. He puts them on the wall. So those are all of his completed puzzles, the
yeah,
smaller ones that he's done so far.
and I've got, let's see. Couch is full of puzzles there because the cabinet's full. Some on top of the cabinet. It's full
Wow.
there. Plus, I've got more in the house and in the truck.
Now, do you buy your own puzzles, or do you find that
So
I
when I
find
get
that
them
people
done,
gift me a lot of puzzles?
I buy my own puzzles, except for Cloudberries. They've sent them.
Okay. Yeah, because I noticed like when people like for
I
holidays and
put this
birthdays,
back
they're
on.
like, "Oh, let's just get her some puzzles because she loves doing puzzles." I'm like, I love puzzles, but I have so many. And you go and you're just like, "Oh, I want that one. I want that one." And I'm now starting to like look at. And I never used to look at like how many pieces it had, but now I'm like, 2,500 pieces. I'm like, yeah, so something a little bit smaller, like those 300, 500, I'm good with those. I'm like, I can knock those out, in an afternoon, but like the 1,000 piece ones, I'm like, ugh, that's going to take me a little bit of time.
Like Christmas and birthday, somebody may give me puzzles. I've gotten a few that
Okay.
way, but most of the ones I buy are 1,000 pieces
Mm-hmm.
because of the size of them for the truck. I
Yep.
can't get any bigger than that.
Yeah.
So
So
just
how long, hour-wise, did it take you to do Peter Pan, would you say? Did you keep track or no?
I don't. My wife does. I think she said it was like
Okay.
110 hours. I think is
And
what
then
it
how much
was.
did Snow White take you?
All
With
that. That's probably about the same length of time
Okay. All right.
of actual working on it.
Yeah. Yeah, Snow White by far was my longest, and I think Lion King was my second longest. But I added up because Lion King I had camera issues, so I wasn't able to keep total track. But I kind of did like an average of all my puzzles, and I I think I'm like 350 hours in so far with 6 sections done. So I'm like, that is a long time. You don't realize how long it
I
is. You're like, oh man.
I probably got that many hours on the 3 sections.
Yeah. It's just you lose track of time so easily doing these puzzles. And again, if anyone has any questions for us about the puzzles in general, the big puzzle that we're working on, feel free to put it in the comment, in the comment section. We'll be glad to answer those questions. I cannot believe like when I laid it out the other day and I saw all the sections, I'm like, we know working on it how big each section is, but when you start lining up the sections next to each other, it really opens your eyes to just how big and massive. I thought I knew where I was going to put this puzzle in my house, and now I'm like, I don't think it's going to fit there. Like it's ginormous. Like it's just ridiculous how big these puzzles are.
Yeah, because the wall I'm putting this on is 24 foot long.
So you're good.
So it'll take after I frame it, it'll take up 24 feet,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to be 6.5 foot tall when it's done with the
Yeah.
frame, and the wall 7 foot 2 inches. So, I have to move electrical outlets to put this puzzle up.
These puzzles are
Something.
certainly like a passion. Like you have to really enjoy and have the patience to puzzle with these massive puzzles because they're
Oh,
just
yeah.
from where to store them, where to build them. I mean, basically mine, I mean, you built a room for your puzzle, but mine takes up an entire room in my house is dedicated to this table with my contraption, around it. So, I will be taking a little break. My brother is coming to visit me at the beginning of December. So I'm basically puzzling up until he comes, and then I'm going to take the puzzle down for the time that he's here, and then the puzzle table will come back up because we're just not going to have everyone walk around this giant table while I have family in town. I'm like, just don't mind the table. So
Well, tell them every time they walk by, they have to put 5 pieces in.
exactly. Now, unlike you, I don't have the puzzle inspector. Now, do you get nervous when the puzzle inspector comes to visit to inspect your pieces? Because I would get pretty nervous about this.
Depends on his mood. There's a couple of times where, oh no, he's going to throw them on the floor.
Oh no.
But he's been pretty good. He may mess the pieces up on the table, but nothing's ever ended up on the floor. So
Yeah.
after the first couple of times of him in here, I don't worry about it too much anymore.
Yeah.
So he looks at it for as long as it takes me to do a video. Then
Mm-hmm.
he's down sitting on the couch.
Yeah. I would just be afraid
So,
that he would like see one of my pieces and be like, well, it doesn't go there. You're going to have to start over from the beginning, because that is his job as the puzzle inspector to inspect those pieces. I almost feel like I need him over here during Little Mermaid because he might have caught it before I finished Little Mermaid. So,
who knows? He has to feel it because he's legally blind.
aw,
So
yeah, aw. So yeah, so I'm started the Cinderella section, and in going through my Cinderella section pieces, they are cut incorrectly. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have the same exact problem with Cinderella that I had with Little Mermaid. So I am just like, so the good news is that she only has to fit in on
uh,
two corners. The bad news is I don't think she's gonna fit. So I don't know what Raven, because I took like your suggestion how you said if they just replace that last row, but the problem is that
yeah,
the pieces together, like if I took the last four or last three rows, like the two side rows and that top row of Little Mermaid, and I measured it like in the inches, it's still shorter
mhm,
than the Beauty and the Beast same. So I think the whole entire puzzle, like that, I think it was cut incorrectly first of all, but the whole thing I think needs to be replaced. I don't think there's
yeah,
any fixing it. Like, and I'm looking at Cinderella, and the pieces just look odd because you and I have looked at these
mhm,
pieces long enough. When something, because like you said, the pieces basically all look the same for each section. Well, I get some
yeah,
that are very skinny, or I mean, like I had one. I'm trying to think where it is here. Like it was like super wide, and I'm like, these pieces should not be like one piece shouldn't be twice as wide as the one next to it. So I am guessing, like
yeah,
I said in my video, what happened is they cut the 10 sections, so there is probably 10 sections, one whole puzzle, one 40,000 piece puzzle that is cut incorrectly, that together I think it would fit. But because you're matching it with correctly cut sections, it's not going to fit. So I'm just hoping my last three after this are fine. And I'm hoping that you don't have one of the sisters or brothers to my incorrectly cut puzzle because it's devastating.
I might have to make a drive and exchange them if
Oh
that
my
happens.
gosh. It is just like, and I mean, I'm going to write Ravensburger, but I think I'm going to write them after I'm done with Cinderella and just be like, all right, I got two done, three to go. These are not working. What's the solution? Because I, I don't know. So we'll see what their
Yeah,
solution is going to be.
yeah. I would think just replacing that whole row to match up with the other puzzle.
Yeah.
But because the way it sounds, because the puzzles are made a lot like they make a printing press.
Mm-hmm.
The way they're cut,
Yep.
it's just that the blade is bigger than it is for like paper. And something got off a line going through the machine.
Yep.
That's the way it looks. Because the machines, they go out of alignment. There's nothing's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Well, and depending too
So
how many they put. I don't know if they cut 3 or 4 puzzles at a time, if they cut 10 at a time, because I've watched videos on how they cut the puzzle pieces, and sometimes they have several in there, sometimes they just have one. So I don't know, but Ravensburger is known for their quality. Like, I mean,
yeah,
and so like a little disappointing that this is kind of what they produced with a rather expensive puzzle.
yeah. Someone commented how long we both been doing puzzles. I've been doing them pretty much my whole life.
Me
So
as well. I started with like the little wooden puzzles with the ABCs, and then my mom introduced me to jigsaw puzzles, and I've basically been doing them ever since.
so I've been doing them on and off.
Yep.
Yes, because they're running through the machines. Something got out of a line, and it's something they probably didn't catch because the machine realigned itself
Yep.
during the process.
Yeah.
And because if you got your Little Mermaid doesn't fit to anything else, that means the one next to it, they probably bag each sections
Mm-hmm.
at a time and put those in a box and grab one of each section
Yep.
and put it in the box they ship. So having the exact 10 sections that were cut at once is probably not going to happen.
No. Well, and I'm like, I don't like, I have serial numbers on my bags. I'm assuming you do as well, but I don't know
Yeah.
if all the Little Mermaid section serial numbers are the same, like that were in that run, or so I don't, because all my serial numbers are different, which would make sense because each section is a different puzzle. You have Little
Yeah.
Mermaid and Cinderella. So I don't know how, but whenever I write them, I'm like, here's the serial number, here's a picture of, so I basically just give them all that information, and then I just wait for them to respond. It did take them like a good 4 months to respond to my missing puzzle pieces, and they didn't even really address the Little Mermaid issue at all. They just sent me the puzzle pieces that I was missing for Snow White, which, by the way, and I did do a video on, I just haven't posted it. They were literally like the most perfect fit ever. The stuff, everything was perfect when they sent it to me. So they are able to somehow reproduce those missing puzzle pieces, which is great. But like I showed in the video, when I replaced the pieces that were cut like on the diagonal for the Little Mermaid section, those just did not fit at all. I mean, they were much larger. So I don't know. I'm just gonna. I thought about quitting. I will admit there was a moment where I was like, just be done. Like go back to like your little 1,000-piece puzzles. Like just. And I'm like, no, but I'm so close to the end. Like I can't. I'm like, oh, if this was like my second puzzle, I maybe would have quit. But because I was like so close to the end, I'm like, yeah, we gotta. I have to gut through this and gut through it. But I mean, like, I really have to, because it's now about like just winning and accomplishing this thing. Like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, because I'm missing the one piece on Snow White,
Mm-hmm.
but I threw away the bag.
Oh no. I'm sure if you
So
wrote them, they'll be able to figure it out. Because for me, they asked me the coordinates of the puzzle, so I had to do like across and down, and then they wanted the picture of the missing piece and then the serial number. So, and then of
yeah,
course, like the I whatever that code is on the box that IN whatever, I can't even remember, but I have it all in an email. So that's the information that I provided to Ravensburger to get that. But it was a slow process getting the response.
and it's either that or I make one
Yeah.
to put in there because it's a pretty solid color.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the serial numbers are going to tell them which press it was cut off because they probably used more than one
Yeah.
machine. So the pieces may be a little different.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean,
So
we'll see. So, I'm anxious to get Cinderella started. For those of you, let me show everyone what Cinderella looks like. It's a lot of dark blue. So those of you that voted for her, thank you for not giving me Dumbo because I'm waiting for poor Dumbo. No one is voting for. I get like 2 votes on Dumbo. I am not going to let Dumbo be last. Like I'm going to make that executive decision to make sure Dumbo is not last. So we have Cinderella. This is what I'm working on right now. And by working on, I mean I have like 2 sections of the film strip done, but she's a lot of white, which is good, but she's also a lot of stars. So I feel like I'm going to do okay with Cinderella. And then Pat is working on, hold on, let me get out Beauty and the Beast. He's almost done with Beauty and the Beast, which is like really, really exciting. I'm excited to see that once he's done. Let me get out Beauty and the Beast. Pat is working on Beauty and the Beast, so he has lots of color. He has some yellow, he has the beast, he has lots of red. So I'm excited that you got an easy one. But yeah.
and a question came up here. What do you feel is the easiest to start with, the stars or the film strip?
I'll let you go first, Pat.
Uh, since now that I'm on more the second and third one, the stars would be easier for me because I know the pattern.
That's fair.
And I just whizzed right through the stars, and the film strip's a little different because now you got to sort back and forth to which picture goes where
Yep.
for the film strip. So
Yeah, for
I think the
me,
star edges are quicker.
I'm the complete opposite. Film strip's the easiest, and I'll show everyone because I'm working on the film strip right now. Is what's different and Pat understands, but the film strips are more like a traditional puzzle where like one film strip is usually about like 6 to 8 puzzle pieces. But when you're working on these like larger puzzles, like her face, because the puzzle is so large, her face may be like 10 pages or 10 puzzle pieces, and the dress may be another couple hundred because remember, you're blowing it all up. So for me, the film strip I can get through. What I can't handle on the film strip is because these are all so small and I'm getting older, I'm having a hard time seeing all these like little film strips. So when my mom was here last time, um, working on the puzzle, she was helping me. She actually took pictures with her phone of the film strip and then blew it up on her phone so that way she could see like what scene each film strip was in. So I'm like, that's kind of smart. So yeah, for me it's the film strips. I've tried to do the stars first, but I'm just like I go blind with those stars. I'm like I can't do them first. I'm sorry. I got to go right to the film strip.
Yeah. With this one, I did do the film strip pretty much first, but then I went around and did all the stars, and seeing the stars went a lot quicker.
Okay.
So
Yeah, the sorting to me, I think, is the worst part of all of this. I hate sorting these pieces. Like when I get that bag out and I'm just like looking, especially if there's a lot of blue, I'm like, I do not want to. Sorting will take me easily a week because I just like, I can only do a little bit at a time. Because when you sort, every color looks the same after a while. You're like, blue, black, yeah, it's good enough. Just put it all in one pile. And then when you're doing the puzzle, you're like, I did not do a good job sorting these puzzle pieces at all.
okay, out of the sections we have left, which ones are you dreading to do the most? Probably Lion King because of the shades and the colors on it. I am feeling that's gonna be a harder one.
For me, it's the one that Pat just finished, Peter Pan. That's the one I'm literally going to dread the most. So I just got a question. What is going to happen with Little Mermaid? Okay, so we did discuss this, but Little Mermaid does not fit with Beauty and the Beast, and she does not fit with Jungle Book. So I don't know if you saw my video, but it does not fit at all. It's the section is just it was completely cut incorrectly. So I don't know really what's going to happen with it. Like I was telling Pat earlier, is my Cinderella pieces are very similar to the pieces like cut as far as that. Like there some are wider, some are taller than as or similar to Little Mermaid. So I don't know what's going to happen. Um we're just gonna have to wait to see what Ravensburger says, honestly, because hopefully they have an answer, but I am still going to push through and finish these puzzles. Even if I finish Cinderella and she's a little off, which I think she will be, I'm just going to push through and finish the last three because I'm not going to let this puzzle win.
Yeah, your worst case scenario is they just send you a bag, that
Hmm.
section back in a bag, new one. Then you got to
Yeah.
redo it again.
And of course, it's like not like the easy ones. Like looking back, I know that we both started with Snow White, and I remember there was a couple points during Snow White that I was like, I just want to quit. This is a lot. Yeah, I'm a little bit more overwhelmed than I thought it was going to be, and I love doing puzzles. But now I look at these other ones, and I'm like, these are just like not as bad. Snow White was the easiest because all the dwarfs were like a different color. So there were so many like different colors. And I'm like, we're
Yeah.
doing, the ones with like all this blue. And I'm like, this is not, no, I should have appreciated Snow White more when I was doing it rather than like complain about her as much as I did.
I noticed doing this puzzle, something this big, you look at puzzles differently
Mm-hmm.
than you would before.
Yep.
Because I just did I don't know how many pieces it was, 200-piece puzzle in the house before I came out here. The daughter-in-law dropped off at the house, it's in a bag, she didn't know what it was, just threw it down there. And something like that, you can see the colors, you can just throw them together
Yep.
pretty much, or the shape. Something this big, what used to be 4 pieces is now 10 to 20. And it turns it into a solid color, more solids inside that. So you just look at them a lot different.
Yep. Well, I actually did. I purchased little, the 1000 mermaid section the exact same puzzle. So yes, I did that one again. I know it was just all the memories were coming back. And I haven't uploaded it yet because I'm still editing, but I did a comparison video of the 1000 piece puzzle versus the 4032 piece puzzle. So it really, when you look back and you see, and I take like Flounder and I'm like, this is Flounder on 1000 piece puzzle. And then this is him on the 4000. So it really is going to give everyone a nice comparison of just how big these puzzles are. Now, Wendy, who's also been doing the puzzle, she said
Yeah.
Fantasia and Peter Pan are the ones I found the hardest so far. Okay, well, thank you, Wendy, because that is my last two. No, I'm just joking. Those are the last. I have to do those, Wendy. I don't know how I'm going to get through those. And then Kathy says, I love to do puzzles to. I love to do puzzles to have a long time without doing one. I know it is hard having a long time. When you go through that period where you're not doing puzzles. It was funny because over the hurricane, I, went over to my parents and, I was like, well, if we lose power, I need to have something to do. So I had from the D23 Amazon convention, they did like a 5-piece, the posters of Walt Disney's plane. So my mom, and there was like 2 350 pieces, 2 500 pieces, and 1 750 pieces. We finished those together. Like we knocked those out in no time. Like it's so nice to finish a puzzle in just a couple of hours. Like it just makes me feel better about myself.
What's your favorite color to work on so far? I guess my favorite color so far to work on would probably be the yellow. There's the shades of the yellow are more distinctive.
Yes.
And,
I would have to go with so far with what I've done for these bigger puzzles. I would have to say the yellow as well, just because it's such a bright color. It makes you happy. So I enjoyed the yellow as well. Now, when he said, I feel like there is a lot of blue in the puzzle as a whole. Yes, Wendy, that's exactly what Pat and I were saying. I'm gonna pull out my poster over here so everyone can see. because there might be some people that don't know what the puzzle looks like. So we're going to show everybody. So let me get my poster laid out on the table. But there is in Raven,
Yeah,
and
there
I
are
did it
shades.
like, 'cause I know
There,
that. Go ahead.
there are shades of blue you didn't know existed.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know. So how I like actually stumbled across, there was a in Jackson, Michigan, there was like this cute like little toy shop that I went to with my parents, and they had, and I don't know what Skyline it was, but they had the box for that Ravensburger 40,320 piece. It's basically windows looking out into a skyline, and it repeats itself. Like
Yeah.
every section is basically like the window. And I looked down like those people are crazy that buy that. And then they're literally like a couple months later, I'm like, oh look, they make a Disney one. I'm gonna get it. So, but let me show everyone what the puzzle looks like. So these are the sections. This is the entire poster. So when you kind of look at it from a distance, there's color, but it's mostly blue. So like Pat and I were talking, this one, not a lot of blue, a lot of color. We love the color. Lots of blue here in Peter Pan. And again, you have to remember that, I mean, this is 4,000 pieces, so it's even more blue than what you're seeing. Fantasia, like Wendy said, she thought this was also the hardest. I feel like Fantasia's easier than maybe Peter Pan because you have half blue and half like this gold and yellow color. Lots of stars though, and I'm not a fan of those stars. Then we have Jungle Book, which I thought was pretty easy because we have lots of green, and green's like a nice bright color. Poor Dumbo, which neither of us have done yet before. Dumbo is adorable. I think he's going to be one of the easier ones. Very, like
Yeah.
basic, you have the blue water, which that's fine, but you have the gray. This one, I'm not even going to talk about that one. Just let's move on. I cannot, I need a moment away from her. Bambi, I enjoyed Bambi up until I got to the flowers. But she, again, lots of, green, so that's nice. The pink is nice. Pat and I both agree that this one is a nice one to work on. Lots of bright, vivid colors. This is currently the one that I am working on. And by working on, I mean I have like 2 pieces of the film strip done, but lots of white in this one. And then one that I finished recently is The Lion King. Again, everyone thought this was going to be so easy, but when you really look at it, there's just a lot of shadows and darkness. That's hard to decipher, like this brown from this dark gray. So we shall see how that goes.
Yeah, just it's the colors that the transition and the shades.
Mm-hmm.
It's so gradual,
Yep.
and which that makes it a little more difficult.
Yep. No, absolutely. But I will say, once I have finished this, I know that there's going to be a sense of like proudness and achievement. And I am glad, like, I do want to thank everyone that follows me along, likes my videos, because honestly, if it wasn't for the TikTok community, like giving me that support, I don't know if I would be as far along on this puzzle. Like, I think I would have quit, honestly. Like, I think I just would have gotten to the point where it's like, no one's going to know anyway. But I feel like because everyone's so supportive here and, they're just like, oh, this looks great. I can't wait to see the next one. I'm like, oh, me either. Like, I want to make everyone happy and I want to, so it's nice to have the community that we have. I mean, we have some
Yeah,
great followers. So, and they're so wonderful. They're so supportive. So it's so great to have those people, that are, here to basically cheer us along. Even though on the other side of the camera, we're like, I'm so done with this. Like, I can just imagine Pat, like when the camera's not on, as he's like doing the Peter Pan, like, oh, I'm so done with this puzzle. Like, oh, I don't want to go out to the shed and work on that puzzle. Like, not the puzzle room.
yeah. If I wasn't here on TikTok, Snow White would probably be still sitting on this table.
So Wendy asked, how many
No,
have you
but
both done now? How many have you done now, Pat, for the 40,000 piece puzzle?
I'm finishing up the third.
Okay. So you've done Snow
With
White, Peter Pan, and he's working on Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
Yep. And then I have
It's
finished 6. I'm working on number 7. So I have to look at the poster. I have done Snow White, Bambi, Jungle Book, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and Lion King.
Yeah. So I keep reminding people, and my wife does, on our lives on Saturday nights that the only time I really work on it is Saturday nights,
Mm-hmm.
and that's 3 to 5 hours a week
Yep.
on an average, and plus we take the vacations, so that takes off 2 weekends there
Mm-hmm.
every now and then. So for the amount of time I'm home to work on it, I'm
Yep.
doing pretty good.
Oh no, I mean that's great. That's
But
the thing about this puzzle, at least for me. Where smaller puzzles, I can like go in, work on them for like 45 minutes to an hour. And, if I have to like run somewhere, that's fine. But for these puzzles, I get into these like where I'm just like boom, 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 and I don't want to stop. So when I work on this puzzle, it's not like I can like, oh, well, I'm going to Disney, later this afternoon. I'm going to work on the puzzle before Disney. I'm like, no, I want to dedicate a whole day, like a good 5, 6, 7 hours, just sitting down, working on the puzzle, watching my documentaries on Netflix because that's what I do. I just listen to a lot of documentaries on Netflix. And, so that's kind of, that's how I do it. But I need like a good couple solid hours to work on this puzzle. Now, Kathy did say, love watching your videos and seeing all the progress you have done. Thank you so much. And hopefully you're following Pat, the Puzzle Man, as well, because he is working on the puzzle as well. So make sure you're following both of us because he is just doing an awesome job. And it's nice to see our two different techniques, like how we sort the puzzle pieces, how it comes together.
yeah, I know some people are going to wonder what we're going to do after we're done with this puzzle.
Take a long vacation. Go get a life, right?
What
Go outside and
what's
see the
what's
world.
next? Well, I can't remember the company, but they came out with a 60,000 piece puzzle just
Yes, I
recently.
did see that. It was like, I think it's of the world, like a map of the world, I believe. I
I
can't,
can't quite remember exactly what
yeah.
it was, but
It wasn't
I
Disney.
think
Let's
I
just put it
got it
that way. So I was like, yeah.
because Kodak had the 54,000 and
Yep.
somebody else had one 52,000 and now there's one at 60,000.
Yep.
I saw it through Karen Puzzles
Okay.
posted that
Okay.
because she was in the Guinness Book World Records
I was
for
just going to say that. Yep.
2023. And then all of a sudden, she posts this video of something that broke the record. So the what's in the book
Is
is
outdated.
no longer valid.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, maybe I should do that one next, but I have nowhere to put it because
Yeah.
it's bigger than this one.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like
I'd have to
me.
go,
Go ahead.
I would have to go build a wall on the other side of this barn to put that one on or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm having problems with storing the puzzles because I know in the directions, Ravensburger says don't glue the sections together like individually. My place is not that big. Okay. I do not have room to store them flat anywhere because, like, as I said, and like I have to fold my table up, put it behind a couch, up against a wall. So I don't have the ability to like keep my table up all the time when I need to utilize the space. And when I had to break Little Mermaid up into sections and put her in a box, it was like the most time consuming and like, oh, it was such a, because I would like take the puzzle piece apart, then one would slip or fall. It was just a mess. I'm like, I'm never doing this again with the puzzle where I'm taking them apart. So I just glue them together. And I did make an envelope video, which I'll be posting very shortly this week. I still have to edit it down, but I just basically make these huge envelopes out of post-it board and I put it behind a dresser. I'm like, and it's fine. No one touches it and it just stays there. And I don't have to look at that Little Mermaid anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Mine, mine are put down on the shelf below my table
yep,
here, and they're on a board, and there's another board on top.
yep. Because you
My
thought
wife
about
says
this when you're building your table. So you're like, I need a space to put the completed ones.
and store other stuff. So,
Yes.
and my wife just said I'm doing Mickey's Through the Ages next.
Okay.
But,
That'll be
I don't know.
nice.
I might take a break from this kind of thing
Yeah.
and do some. It's like what I'm going to do in the transition, and that's, I got some ideas, but they just go through in my head. Nothing concrete yet.
Yeah. Well, so everyone's like, well, where are you going to put it? I'm like, well, let's see if and when I finish it first. Because I've had a couple little meltdowns with, one of the sections, maybe this one as well. So I'm like, let me get through finishing it, and then I'm going to worry about everything afterwards. But for right now, I'm like, I just need to get across that finish line.
I might just start going out all the puzzles I got in the cabinet here and getting those done, because they're going on the wall in this room.
Yep.
Most of them. And the ceiling. So once I
Yep.
get all that folded.
Yeah. No, that'll be nice. Now, are you specifically, do you know just that yourself you migrate towards just Disney puzzles, or because I know you got one of those like teeny tiny metal puzzles, right? For Christmas or birthday
Yeah.
or something? Yes, okay. So
I just bought it.
like, okay. So when you buy your puzzles, like, we both know that we do Disney puzzles, but are you more specific towards Disney puzzles? If you went to like a puzzle store, are you just kind of like, I'll do something with trucks or something different?
The Disney puzzles we're getting is just because that's the theme of our house.
Okay.
And our basement's going to be a theater room, and it's themed in Disney. So that's why all the Disney puzzles.
Okay.
And because I've done other puzzles, I've gotten some Duck Dynasty ones going, the Cloudberries puzzles, and I've got some mystery puzzles in here. I don't know what they are.
Yeah, my favorite out of the puzzles, the most unique puzzle I've done so far is those Magic Puzzle by the Magic Puzzle Company, I think they're called, where you do the puzzle and then it kind of like comes apart, and then you have to open this like secret envelope, and there's like more puzzle and it tells a story. I love unique puzzles like that. I mean, as much as I love all these Disney puzzles and the cool pattern on them, I like the unique ones like that. Or they have those murder mystery ones where you have to like read the mystery, and then when you complete the puzzle it'll give you the answer where it doesn't match what's on the box. Those are like out of the box thinking puzzles, because they're a little, not that the 40,000 piece puzzle isn't challenging in itself, but those are just like a little, a different type of challenge.
Yeah, because this little puzzle is from Lazels. You guys might want to follow the Puzzle Whisperer. He's the brain behind all this. The puzzle I got is 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. It's 144 pieces. It's made of titanium, and it fits together real well. And he has his latest one I'm waiting on getting. It's the size of a stamp with 120 pieces. It's like 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches.
I can't even see the film strip on the poster. I do not know how you are going to do. I know, I've seen it with videos. So I have seen, or with tweezers, you have to use like little tweezers. Just seeing like the ins and the, no, I will watch your video and I will like it, but I'm not going to join you in on that journey, Pat. I am sorry. I will support you from over here.
I may have to go down to the store and get a microscope or something to put this next one together.
I mean, a postage stamp is like that big. Like,
Yeah.
it would be like literally, it's like the size of, hold on, let me take out this puzzle piece. It's like the size of this puzzle piece right here. Like this tiny puzzle piece. That's like basically, so a whole, 120 pieces?
Yeah.
And, no. Good luck.
1.5 inches by 1.5 inches.
I am anxiously waiting that video, Pat. I cannot wait to see you get it, because I want to see, first of all, want to see it, but yeah. Wow. Good for you. Good for you.
I'll be joining the guy from Lazels on a live coming up soon.
Oh, nice.
Because he just released that last puzzle. So he's pretty busy now making all these puzzles he sold, because that's the way it works. And they're made to order.
Yep.
You know, you could wait up to 4 months for a puzzle from him,
Wow.
depending on how many orders he gets.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of waiting on mine. It's been 3 weeks, so
Okay. Now, out of
but
all the puzzles that you've done so far, Pat, the big ones, what is your most favorite puzzle that you've done so far?
oh wow, I did the round globes.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of like those.
Mm-hmm.
Then the actual 3D Big Ben.
Okay. I love the three. I haven't done a 3D. My mom and I way back in the day, so we're talking like 90s. They came out, I think it was Weber, had like the Puzz 3D or whatever. And the only one they had was of the Capitol building. And we
Mm,
worked on that for like hours because that's when you had to like cut off because it was made out of foam. Oh my gosh. And now
yeah,
that I had that company send me that the pirate ship from Pirates, that big 3D one, and how they have these 3D puzzles have come along like from the 90s to like now. It is night and day with these puzzles. I mean, they're built a lot better, they're a little bit more sturdy. So yeah, 3D puzzles are, I don't have a lot of them just because they take up so much space. And as everyone has basically seen my house, I do not have space for anything. I have these like I have these Disney, the Mickey Mouses that I just shoved in this cabinet, and because I don't have a place to put them. I'm doing the monthly Mickeys, and I have like a couple more left. And I'm like, I need a shelf for these things, and I just need to just stop shopping anything that says Disney on it. That's what I need to do. My name is Chris, and I have a shopping problem with Disney. Like we're just gonna say it right there because my whole house, just like Pat's house, is all Disney. So
yeah. Ours is a lot of ours is popcorn buckets.
okay. Now, did you hear that they're coming out with a pass holder only popcorn bucket for Walt Disney World?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yes, coming soon. We don't know. They like Disney put it on their thing with like Mickey popping out of the popcorn bucket, but we don't know what it's going to be yet. So I'm super excited.
Hopefully they don't run out by the time I get back down there.
Yeah, absolutely. I could always pick you up one, Pat. I'll take care of you. If I'm in the park and I see one, I'll grab
Okay.
one for you. So, but yeah, I'm excited about that. I didn't really get it. I personally go to the parks just for the popcorn itself. And I don't like the shaped popcorn buckets because I can't fit my hand in there because the slots are
Oh,
so because I'm only there for the popcorn, I literally just get the bucket shaped ones. And so Wendy says, my name is Wendy. I also have a shopping problem with Disney. Welcome to Disney Addicts Anonymous. Yes, welcome, Wendy. Thank you so much. The three of us together will get through this, Wendy.
yeah. What upset me was I used to go down there and get the coin sets,
Yes.
the limited ones. Since COVID hit, they don't have them anymore. Because
Oh,
I used to get them over there in Epcot, right down there by Spaceship Earth,
yeah.
and the construction they moved it. The coins ended up over in Disney Springs. So now I'm over in Disney Springs, got my one set. Now they don't have them anymore. The last year they were down there in Magic Kingdom, down by Gaston's, in that shop. Went down there a few weeks ago. No,
Ah.
nobody's carrying them anymore.
Now what?
Uh,
Now, so what's the coin size? Is it a Walt Disney World like special for that year?
they have like a Snow White special edition
Okay.
coin sets, or they'll have a
Yeah.
specific coin.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I
can find them online through Franklin Mint and things, but I usually, if I don't get them from the Disney,
Yep.
they don't. It's not the same.
No. No, I started
It's
collecting the medallions for the 50th anniversary that come out of the machine, like the press penny machine. So I'm like halfway through my list on that. So Yeah. Now, Pat, I do have to ask you a question because you're a pass holder. Have you jumped into Magic Band Plus,
Yeah,
where you can like
that's
scan?
what we got
Can you
through the.
scan the statues? I don't know if anybody, if your followers have been to Disney, I cannot get that to. I will sit there and be waving my arm, basically like an idiot. People are like laughing at me, like, "No, I'm getting the statue to say something." I cannot get it to work.
Yeah, some of them I was walking up to it and it
Mm-hmm.
worked. Sometimes I'd flash my hand and it would work, or I'd walk away and it starts working.
Yep.
We were sitting there in front of the castle on the side one day where the Tinkerbell statue's at.
Mm-hmm.
Met a family from Nevada, sitting there talking to them, and I was probably 30 feet away. I kept setting Tinkerbell off for the whole time through the.
Everyone's
It
like,
just
"What
kept
is
going
that? Why
off,
does she
going
keep
off.
on doing the pixie dust?"
And
Yeah, the Magic
it was
Band
either.
Plus to me were a little bit of a disappointment because I'm one of those like I love the scavenger hunts at Epcot. I will once they announce like a scavenger hunt, I'm like I am going. They're currently doing Pluto's Pumpkin Pursuit, which I'm going to be at on Wednesday doing that. So I've been like literally counting down the days to go to do the scavenger hunt. So with the magic band, you can wave it and the statue will like say something. But then inside the app, it'll like kind of give you like, "Oh, you saw this thing." So my goal is to collect all the statues, but it's impossible when they don't work. So yeah. So if you ever see like a
Somebody's
crazy girl
asking
going like
here.
this, that's me at the parks.
Have you done the pin quest?
Have I done the pin what quest?
The pin quests.
I have not. Have you?
Okay, because we've done a few of them. We've done a few of them. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what is the
And
pin
my wife was
quest?
at it. They give you a hint. You got to go to another location and you find the answer to this hint and you let the cast member know. Then like, yeah, you got it. Now you can get your next pin, but you got to buy it. So
Okay.
that's the only
Yeah,
drawback.
it's like now. Wait, is it in Magic Kingdom or is it only at a certain park?
It was in Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom. That's where we did ours.
Okay, I will have to check that out then.
I don't know if they still do it or not, but
Everything's changed since COVID. I just read an article that they're changing now. It's just I'm not even going to get started on it, but there's just a lot of changes going on
yeah,
at Disney. Let's just keep it right there. And by my face, you could tell I'm not happy about
yeah, there,
it.
yeah, yeah. There's a lot of changes. Yeah, with those golden statues, we have all of them collected on the app. My wife just
Okay.
pointed that out.
Oh, okay. Well, that is great. That is a feat. Okay, so that may even be more difficult than finishing this 40,000 piece puzzle because you are just don't even get me started on those statues. But yeah, so
We had help
when
finding some
is
of them.
so when do you think that you'll be done with the puzzle? Like, what is your like goal for the 40,000 piece puzzle?
Originally, it was supposed to be this Thanksgiving
Okay.
because I based it on how long it takes me to do 1,000 piece puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured that and I times it by 40,
Okay.
added a little bit of time to that. Okay, I'm home on Saturdays. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Now I'm hoping by the end of next year. I'm
Okay.
hoping because things are picking up because the things I figured out about the patterns and things
Mm-hmm.
help me through it. So I'm hoping. But
Because when did you
I've got
start? Because you
vacations
and I started around the same time. When did you start Snow White?
officially May of last year.
Okay.
Okay, I actually started it October 2021. or September 2021, but I didn't get far. I had a couple hundred pieces in. We had some issues around here, so I didn't come out to this puzzle room for 6 months.
Yep.
And that was May of 2021. I came back out here.
Yep.
Well, here we go. I
Yeah,
got
because
to
I
do it.
think I started January, February of 2021. And now I'm at the end of 2022, and then, but I'm like, I basically took both the summers off because last summer I took to do the floor. And this summer I just needed a mental break. So I took just a mental break from everything. So I'm like, had I not taken those summers off, I think it would have been done. But I'm thinking with if I can finish Cinderella before December. So like I have a little bit of October and November. I feel like I might be able to finish everything by May. Because if I start like after my brother leaves in like January, February, March, April, I mean, I only have after her 3 sections left. But in those 3 sections is Fantasia and Peter Pan, which I think are going to throw me for a loop. So now Wendy, because
Yeah.
she's working on the puzzle as well. Wendy, if you're still here, are you done with the puzzle? And are like what? Because I know that she was basically almost done the last time her and I chatted. So are you almost done? And how long did it take you, Wendy? Like in years and months, how long did it take you? I don't know if she's still here. Oh, she just joined in. Let's see if she. I don't know if she heard my question, Wendy. If you just joined, Wendy, because I think you did. I don't know if you heard my question. Did you? How long did it take you to do the puzzle so far? And are you done yet? Because I know that she was basically like, well, she was much further ahead of me than I was. So she was giving me advice of which ones. She's like, this one's real bad. I'm like, okay, thanks. Thanks for the warning.
Yeah. When uh, on Peter Pan, when I figured out the pattern on the grid, I got a lot of bad vibes on that from people.
Oh
Telling me I ruined.
no.
They, a lot of comments saying I ruined the puzzling experience. I said
Oh
no. I said no. I just made it easier to get this big thing done.
I'm saving my sanity. You do not understand how awful it's been. It's like you just go crazy with these puzzles. I tend to get a little crabby when things aren't rolling as fast as I want to. I'm just like, don't talk to me. Like, just leave me alone for a little bit. I'm so upset about the puzzle. And then I'm like, oh, I missed the puzzle. I want to go back to it.
Yeah, because every puzzle has a pattern
Yep.
in one way, shape, or form. They're not all the same, but I've got uh, the row of puzzles up here. One, two, three, four, five, six of them there. They're all the same. They just rotate the picture. So
Yep. Now, Wendy said, I started around August of 2020, but was also working full time. So I didn't really have I didn't have a time estimate. I'm doing them in order. So I'm on The Little Mermaid now. I think I'm on 7 to 10, maybe. Yeah, if she's on Little Mermaid, she just has Beauty and the Beast and
two
Lion King,
more.
assuming that she's going, yeah, straight across and not up and down. And then she said, you definitely caught up with me. Oh, Wendy, I don't know how I caught. I just kind of like I said, I mean, I think Jungle Book was my least amount of time. It was like 49 and a half hours, but my mom did help me with that because she is the one who actually got me started in jigsaw puzzles. So it's so funny. Like she'll call me, can we come over and work on the puzzle? My dad will just like sit around, play with the dogs, play fetch with the dogs. And she'll be in here. She's like, let's work on the puzzle. I'm so excited to work on the puzzle. So so she is my little assistant with helping me. And so obviously two hands or two sets of hands moves a lot quicker. But yeah, so I let her work on the puzzle with me. I'm like, hey, if you want to help, more power to you. I am certainly not going to deny any help. And then she said, yeah, me too. Jungle Book was good. Yeah. So yeah, Jungle Book was probably the nicest one to do with all the blue because all the green. It was nice to have a break from that blue.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of help for a total of 300 pieces.
Oh, you count the pieces. I'm just like, no, keep on. I'm like, move faster, move faster. Now, Pat, I noticed when you do your puzzles, you lay out all, not all, but you lay out the puzzle pieces that you're working on your table, correct?
Yeah.
Are you still doing it that way? So I will show everybody my little system. I actually came up with this with Jungle Book. So let me turn my camera around, flip camera. So I have come up with the system of I'm using. I know that they have trays out there. I am sorry, but I am the poor man's John Stamos. I do not have John Stamos money. I have to buy paper plates because I cannot afford all these trays. I probably have like 200 plates here or more. I kind of stopped counting. And basically, what I have found, what works for me, because if you remember from my first video with Snow White, I had laid out like all the puzzle pieces, like in like on the other, and it was just a mess. It was just I had to keep on leaning over, and so what I do now is I put them on the plates, and they're kind of sorted in order. But what's nice is they're all kind of like, oh, this is, I kind of messed up this one like this. They're all basically oriented the same. So when I'm looking for like one of these pieces, I can just turn the plate like this and then look and be like, oh, I'm looking for something with blue and a little bit of film strip, and everything on my eye is good to go. So I have found that paper plates is the cheapest and easiest way for me to sanely work on this large puzzle. But this is like literally, these are all my stars, everything all lined up in all those paper plates. But I keep the paper plates that I'm, working on in front of me. So when he said I kind of do that when I can be bothered, that is. Yeah. Yeah. I'm the same way. So I'm trying to be as organized as possible, but as we all know, there's no such thing as organization with these puzzles.
No. So what I do is I go through and sort. They all by colors and whatnot, or part sections of the puzzle. Go and separate them into trays.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll then I'll go. Okay, I'm going to do yellow. So all the yellow comes out on the table, or
Okay.
anything connected to yellow,
Yep.
or a character. And
Yep.
but then I put them on the table and I sort by shape.
Yep.
So, but now I got everything on the table. Almost everything is on the table now.
Yep.
I got a
Because you're
few
towards the
trays
end.
left, and they're not in any color order. They're just in shape order.
Yeah, Wendy said that she hates sorting. I do too, Wendy. It takes me a week to do it and a lot of crying. No, I'm just joking. There is a lot of like, oh, I'm so done with this. But yeah, sorting is like whenever I end a puzzle, I'm so excited. And then I'm like, ugh, I got to sort the next one. As I'm like holding up this big bag, I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Hey, Samantha, is the video frozen for you on her end? Because, yeah, your video froze to me, but I still hear you
Oh,
fine.
I can hear. Yeah, you haven't frozen for me. So yeah, Wendy said I'm too
Okay.
impatient to sort for a week. Yeah, that's why it takes me a week because I have to keep on walking
Yeah.
away from it. Do you
It must
initially
be just
sort,
my,
Pat, or no? Do you just you'll go and just get your grab your yellow out of everything, or do you kind of sort them like loosely sort them and then grab your yellow as you're going?
uh, everything gets sorted.
Okay.
Like I'll have one tray or Ziploc bag with film strips.
Yep.
Next one with solid blues or the edge stars and the edge pieces. And so I've got I got about 7 trays still full of pieces.
Okay.
They're it's mainly the pink area off the stars and from the carpet stairs where it goes
Yep.
pink. That's main the pink and blues are basically what's left in the trays.
Yep.
But
And what's hard, which
otherwise
people
it's
go ahead.
otherwise it's just organized madness.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's interesting about the star border, and I so wish that Ravensburger would have picked something else, is like Wendy would know because she's done these, Pat, is when you're working on the star border is usually the last 3 to 4 rows, but in some areas, it can kind of taper off into like the last 5 or 6 rows because you'll have like those like little stars. So when you're doing like when you're working across and doing like the stairs, and you're like, I have tried every single puzzle piece, nothing works. It needs to be the shape. Then you go to your star bag and you find that there's like one piece with one itty bitty like one star on there, and you're like, oh, that's the I that is why I hate the star border, because you just there's yeah, it's just a
Yeah,
nightmare. So
on this one, it looks like it goes in 7 rows on
yeah,
the top.
and I don't like. And what's nice is on the stars, and this is where you go blind a little bit because they fade into the next color. So here, I'm going to show everybody real quick what I mean, because this is like a little trick that I use when I'm doing the star border. So let me show everybody real quick. So for example, we'll just take this one because it's right here. Is we have blue on this side and red on this side, or pink, and then we have red on this side and yellow. So the very last row of this star border is more going to be like a yellowish color, like a pink yellow, where this one will be a pink blue. So when you're sorting those star pieces, and Pat knows this too, you kind of can see like, okay, this one kind of has is a little bit more bluish pink. So I know it goes on this side, where this one is the yellow. But yeah, see, Wendy said the same thing, that she noticed that. But then you get to the point where everything, you can't tell the difference between blue pink and yellow pink. And then like for this one in particular, you have yellow on this side, but then you have like the green, white, yellow on the bottom here. So yeah, the stars are
Then
definitely,
some of them look,
yeah.
then some of them look a little brownish and greenish.
Yes. Yes, but I did notice though on the star edges that those particular pieces, that very last row, they seem to be more boxy. The puzzle pieces themselves, like they seem to just go on like
Yeah,
one straight edge. So I once I could like find those boxy puzzle pieces, then I'm pretty much like, okay, I know that this is probably going to be the last row. Now I just have to figure out which of the, three or, two or three sides that it goes on.
yeah, and it's pretty easy to figure those out because
Yes.
just looking at it, there's a obvious pattern going around.
Correct. Yep.
Just out in, out in.
Mm-hmm. She said, I like the clusters of stars, is the last row, or the corners. When you get like that one, those corner pieces that are just like, it's all basically a white star, you're like, yes, this has got to be one of the corner pieces that goes like up in those corners. So yeah, I wish that Ravensburger would have maybe done
Yeah,
like the film strip all the way around. I thought that would have been cool, but they gave us stars, and probably because they don't have to put it together. So, because the artist is like, oh, this is going to be
yeah,
so pretty. Meanwhile, all of us are doing
yeah.
like a mental
And
check
then,
after we do the stars. Like, am I okay? Yes.
then I get asked why I don't do the edges first
Mm-hmm.
on this puzzle. Well,
Yes. There
you
are
can
no
have five or
edges.
six pieces that fit. You can have 5 or 6 pieces that fit together
Yep.
that
Now,
actually don't go until you get the next row in.
yep. Yeah, for me, when I get like those corners, like where I have like one going this way, one going this way, then I start working those. It's much easier because now you could see what puzzle piece, in there is. Now, Wendy said I would have loved to have a 101 Dalmatians one. I would have loved to have one too, but then I'm also like, why would I want to punish myself with a huge 101 Dalmatians one? Like that's to me would almost be worse than Peter Pan. But I agree. I know that Pat had, got in contact or knew somebody that designed the puzzle. I don't know why they specifically chose these movies over other movies, or these scenes in the movies, but because I thought like Peter Pan, I get it, the bell tower, it's very iconic, but I'm also like, when I think Peter Pan, I thought maybe doing like the map of Neverland, like how when you go on the Peter Pan line, I'm like, that would have been a cool puzzle. With Peter Pan like
Yeah,
flying over the island, or where's Captain Hook with the red. I feel like there might have just been non-blue scenes in these movies that we could, or Wendy said the ship, yes. So I feel like there could have been different scenes from the movies, but that's okay. We'll go with it.
yeah,
Pat and I are going to finish this, and so is Wendy. So we're going to slowly but surely we are going to get through this puzzle, and and feel very accomplished and go get a life basically afterward. But we're going to go out and go see the world afterwards. We're going to be like, oh, sunshine, what's that?
I have to look out the window to see what it looks
Mm-hmm.
like.
I'm like, I'm so
No, the,
tired of the light above my head from my overhead light. So
yeah, it's the person that followed me and I followed back. Her dad was the one who designed this, did the
okay.
art. And I haven't seen her on TikTok in a while. I searched for her and can't find her. So she may
Aw.
be off. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, Wendy says, I'm hoping to finish before I go to Disney May. Well, first of all, congratulations to coming to Disney. Disney, I'm assuming Disney World. So I'm excited for you. And if you only have just the two sections left, or three, I should say, no, two, I think you'll finish. I have confidence that you'll finish. Now, someone just said, have you decided what you're going to do with it once it's completed? Me? No, I have not decided. I thought I had a plan, but when I laid out the large puzzle on the floor, I realized that it's a lot bigger than I thought it was. Even though I measured, it just I don't know. But Pat, what is your plan for the puzzle once you're done? What are you going to do with it?
It's going on my basement wall because we're turning our basement into a theater room and it'll be framed.
Yeah, he's
So
got his is all going to be nice and framed, and I put mine in poster board right now. That's where I'm saving mine. So Pat had a plan before starting this, and I was just kind of winging it as I went along. I'm like, I'm going to get some IKEA legs. My dad bought me this cabinet plywood, this 8x4, and I'm like, yep, that's how I'm going to. And Pat like designed this beautiful puzzle table with like a nice ridge on it, and he's got the professional puzzle table for this.
I had to build the room to put the table into.
That's true. Yes. Yeah, I'm like, I'm just gonna do it in my Florida room. Now, someone did say I
It's
thought it looked
turning out to
nice on
be
the floor. Yes, I that is what everyone's saying is like I should somehow get it on the floor. But then my fear is that like I would probably have to do epoxy or something to get it down like on the floor. And then if I
yeah,
ever move, I would be heartbroken because the person that moves in after me is probably just going to rip it up. Like, take one of those things to just be like, oh, let's get rid of this puzzle. So I think the
that's
floor would have been cool.
yeah. With this going on the wall, it's going to be up there permanently.
Yeah. Yeah,
So it
definitely.
stays with the house. And with everything I had to do this puzzle, it's the most expensive puzzle I've ever done.
Easily. You're like, you don't even want to know how much money it cost me to do this. But
Yeah,
you do have a place to hang your smaller puzzles now, which you didn't have before.
yeah,
So it's actually a two purpose room.
yeah. Because the price of lumber to
Mm-hmm.
build a room that's 16 by 16, then the table
Yep.
is, but the real work begins when the puzzle's done.
Yep.
Because I got to get it up to the house. It's a quarter mile away.
Yeah. Yeah, that can be. And are you going to, because you said you're going to frame it, are you gluing it and then putting the frame, or are you just going to basically put glass up to it so tightly that it's not going to move?
I'm gonna glue the puzzle, then glue it to plywood, then put an epoxy on it
Okay.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Because we thought about putting plexiglass up over it, but the price of plexiglass for a puzzle this size.
Yeah. Little
So,
pricey.
but I'm gonna custom make a frame and put that on after the puzzle's on the wall. I can put the frame on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that'll be nice. Yeah, I still don't have a plan. I want to get through it. Right now I'm just like I just need to get through the next couple ones, and I will probably just keep it like behind my dresser in the little poster board things, and then like one day if I move, maybe I will get a house that will be able to support a large, puzzle like that because I do have the space in here, but I have a lot of my other Disney artwork up on those walls. So I have to like choose between a puzzle or like all my favorite artwork, and I don't want to give up on my artwork because I love it so much. So I'm like, I do have the space, but I'm like, I'd have to take stuff down. So, and I'm like, and honestly, I probably don't want to look at the puzzle after it's done. I'm probably going to need a little break. Now, someone said, how long do you think it will take you to finish it completely? So we did discuss this. I am 350 hours into it already, and I am on my seventh section. So I have this one plus three more. And I am hoping to be done by like May. That's my goal. Now, Pat has two sections done. He's almost done with his third. And when do you think you'll be done, Pat?
I'm hoping the end of next year
Yeah, I hope so too.
because I have a lot less time than most. So I tried to do this in the truck, taking a section of colors with Snow White, but it just didn't work.
Yeah.
I took the film strip with me, tried doing it in there, and it wasn't going very well.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is just one of those puzzles that you can't, it's got to be done on the big table with good lighting and, a
And you've
lot of
got to
good
have all the
vibes.
pieces. You got to have
Yeah.
all the pieces in front of you. You can't take a section and take off.
No.
You have to have
No.
access to the whole thing.
Yep. Yeah, so that's we're hoping by the end, we're hoping 2023 is going to be completing the puzzle for Pat and I and Wendy too.
Yeah.
So hopefully the three of us will somehow get all the good puzzle mojo working, and then we're going to complete these puzzles and then just be like, we are done. High five in the air to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, after I get it done, a few months later, it'll be on the wall.
Yep. I
So
cannot
it's
wait to
gonna,
see it. I'm like I'm more excited for you to complete yours than I am to complete mine because I want to see it on the wall.
yeah, so do I.
Yeah, you're like, yeah,
I
me
go down
too.
there, I go down
We,
there, sit on the couch and I look at the wall of what's going on.
mm-hmm.
And it's like, wow, it's gonna be
Yep,
that big.
I know. Just
It's
wait till
gonna
you
take
get
the
like
whole
once you
thing.
reach section number 5, and if you have like the space to lay them all out, you're just gonna step back, Pat, and just be like, I cannot believe how big this puzzle is. Like, I don't know if Wendy's had, because I know Wendy pieces hers out and puts them on, I think it's like foam board, and stacks them on top of each other. So but when you lay them out, you can't, that's when it like dawns on you like, oh crap, it's a big puzzle. So
Yeah, because I've taken Snow White and Peter Pan out a few times, lay them on top of the table here and slide them together, and I'm going, and I said, this is only two
mhm,
sections.
two
There's
sections.
8 more.
Mm-hmm.
It goes out the door forever. So,
You're like, yes. And then so Wendy said, yes, I half them down the middle and put them in plywood and lay them on top of each other. Okay, so that's good. So Wendy had a plan for storing hers. I did not. I was just like, glue them together, put them behind a dresser, and get them out of my sight. I am done looking at this for a while. So
yeah, and you remember the problem I had with, or the incident I had with Snow White, where we had a storm come in, the wind blew the wrong direction, and the roof leaked.
you had some wet puzzle pieces.
Yeah, I had a lot of wet puzzle pieces,
Mm.
and and the trick was don't touch them
Yeah.
because they're fine now.
Okay, that's good. That's
Just
good to hear.
I, if they were already put together, I left them together. If they weren't together yet, I didn't touch them.
Yep.
I worked around it,
Mm-hmm.
and when it dried, I stuck them in there, and they shrunk back to where they needed to be.
Oh, good. That's good to hear.
So I was kind of worried for a little while what was going to happen.
Yeah, I was worried too because when the hurricane was coming, you know, I there's a lot of trees on the other side of my Florida room, and I have two giant like sliding doors. This is the room that I work in, and I was like trying to hurry up because I thought I was going to stay here, and then I ended up going, down to my parents because I was more the direct line of the hurricane, and I basically just like left the puzzle on the table, and I'm like, we're gonna have to see, because I was basically like almost done with Jungle Book, and I'm like, well, I just have to hope that when I come back, that the windows didn't break, that a tree didn't come through the window, and I'm like, it'll be disappointing, but I'm like, I got to get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, so it was that
Yeah.
moment of like, oh my gosh, so many hours in this, but luckily I came back, no leaking. I didn't have any, of those issues. So, as far as the puzzle goes, so I was very happy that when I walked in, the puzzle was exactly the way that I left it. So, because I could just see like all these puzzle pieces flying around Central Florida, and I'm like, yeah, that'd be my puzzle right there.
Yeah, the way mine got wet, the wind came in different direction and blew the water uphill. So it got between the actual roof and my ceiling
Yeah,
because there's a gap in there now. So water ran up my ceiling panels, and when it got to the edge of the wood where the two meet, is
yep,
where the water came down. But once I get the ceiling finished, that won't happen again. It won't have a chance to.
yeah,
So, yeah, the water can run uphill.
yep. Weather these days. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let Pat, because I know he's getting ready for his live tonight. What time does your live start tonight for people that want to join you?
Between 9:30.
Okay, so 9:30. I think you normally go to like midnight Eastern Standard Time, right? 11 midnight ish, three
Usually
hours.
till about midnight.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So Pat gets like a good 3 hours in. So if you want to go watch Pat this evening, make sure you're following him on his channel. He will be live tonight, for about 3 hours, like nine, he said, working on Beauty and the Beast. He is almost done with it. So definitely make sure that you're going to cheer him on. I'll be cheering him on as well, because I cannot wait to see what his next section is going to be. I'm so excited to see what your next section is going to be, Pat. He's like, yeah, me too.
I have a few followers that join, and they're probably going to vote for anything blue.
Yeah, I sometimes wonder, like the people that voted Peter Pan after Lion King, after I was like, I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Like, honestly, do you guys not love me? Like, I talked about how much I disliked, Lion King. I'm like, now you guys are voting Peter Pan. I remembered everybody's name. I'm like, you voted Peter Pan, you voted Peter Pan. So Wendy says, go Pat. So she's cheering you on as well. So again, make sure you join Pat this evening live, and make sure you're following both Pat and I for all these puzzle updates. We are almost done. 2023 is going to be the year that we are going to finish these puzzles, and I cannot wait to see them once they're done.
Yeah, I'd like to see them too.
Yes, absolutely. All right, everyone, you have a great
So,
day. Stay safe out there. Pat, thank you so much for joining me today. It was a pleasure
no,
speaking with you, and I will
thank you.
definitely be dropping in later tonight.
Okay, it's good you're back.
Thank you so much. Talk to you later. Bye, everybody.
Okay, see you. Okay, bye, everybody.